How are you, Bobby?
I'm lovely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It looked like you had a really cozy morning.
Oh, you're watching my Instagram?
Yeah.
I struggled this morning, honestly.
Why?
I did not want to leave my house.
Oh.
I'm at a point where it's like my dog also thought it should have been Saturday.
Yeah.
We were all looking around like, do we really have to do this one more day? But then I was excited to come here.
Good. You rallied?
I rallied.
How was your morning, Jessica?
It was good. I took the morning, I let my crew do all the jobs so I could prep and just be present.
be
and
here.
Of course, yeah, kids, after being home for 2 weeks,
Yeah.
3.5 weeks for Christmas, they didn't have school again today for a teacher work day.
What?
Yeah, I'm like,
What school?
why?
Where are your kids at?
Laguna.
How old are they?
Well, I have my daughter's 14, and then so she's at Laguna, and then my son is 11, and he's at Centumer.
Nice.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
We're like right in the same phase of life.
Yeah, I've got a 13 and 16.
Oh, teenage.
Yeah. I know.
Teenage.
I wanted to leave the house.
Yeah.
Like, get me out of here.
I don't blame you. Yeah, seriously.
It was time.
Yeah. Well, Jessica, thanks so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
It finally happened.
This is first one, so bear with me.
No,
I'll
you're
probably
going to be amazing.
word vomit all over this.
Hey, that's what this is. Actually, it's the name of the podcast. Word vomit.
Changing it up.
Yeah, we're changing it. So,
It's a good one.
well, let's start just for people who don't know, what does Acacia Creek do?
So we are the leading home staging company on the Central Coast. We are actually celebrating 15 years in business this month.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wild.
Yeah, I think I read a stat somewhere that only like 25% of businesses stay in business over 15 years. So
Wow.
it's a proud moment.
Yeah, let's celebrate that
That's
one.
huge.
Yeah. So basically what we do is we stage, we're a home staging and design service company. We help prep homes for the real estate market. So anywhere from vacant homes, we come in and style all the main living spaces and bedrooms. Occupied homes, we'll do consultations where we walk through with homeowners and basically kind of just tell them what to pack up, what to move around, how to just prep their house for the market. We've done a lot of model homes lately, which have been really fun for new developments. And then we also do design services for Airbnbs, vacation homes. We've done nurse apartments, which is fun. So we're kind of all over the board in design services, but our main service is staging vacant homes for the real estate market.
Bobby, have you ever done staging before?
I have. I have some staging experience. I have all the respect for everything you do.
It's a lot of work.
It's a ton of work.
Yeah.
I mean, think of the most stressful things in life it's moving. You're moving all the time. When I started though, my kids were babies. So all I really wanted was to go into a house and have control over making it beautiful, and knowing it would be left that way was so gratifying to me.
Yeah.
Because you live in chaos. So it was a really fun chapter of life, but so much more work than people realize, and so much stuff.
So much.
How does
stuff.
that work? Are you purchasing more stuff? Like, how are you selecting the items you're buying?
Yeah, so every year we've kind of grown our inventory. Right now we have enough inventory to stage over 40 homes.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. But I'm actually leaving next week to go to Las Vegas to a buying market. So we go there to find new vendors and new design styles. And it's just really exciting to go to places like that just to see the new trends coming up. And then just online shopping all day, every day.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah.
So before they come to you, agents like you, Bobby, have to persuade maybe a seller to stage their home. Like, how do those conversations tend to go? What's the pushback you get?
The only thing people really care about usually is, one, are they living in the home? Because that's something that, they want to be careful of, especially if they have children, things like that. They want to understand the process and how that's going to affect them. And basically cost, because who doesn't want their home to show as beautifully as it can? They're usually into it. It's just, how much is it going to cost me? And that's where the agents, we tend to get creative on our side too, to make sure that we get it paid for, because it is worth.
Yeah, there's going to be an ROI
so much
for sure.
Yeah.
So Jessica, did you start the company 15 years ago when it began?
I did.
What?
Yes.
Okay, so
You are not old enough.
I know, like, you were. So you were 12.
I did the math.
I know.
I saw your post and I was like, no way.
Yeah. So how does a 12-year-old have the insight to start a company like this?
Well, it probably started when I was 12. I've always been that kid that's been in love with home decorating and interior design. You know, I begged my mom to paint my room probably once a year and redecorate. And then that just kind of followed me into college. I went to Cuesta and I did all the design program there. And then after college, you know, I needed to make some money. So I started working in my aunt's real estate office. And then I kind of was trying to figure out if I wanted to pursue interior design or become a real estate agent. After working there for about 2 months, I was like, I do not want to be a real estate agent. But while I was there, you know, I'd help my aunt put, you know, little accessories in the kitchen and just do a few little design elements in a house. And then one day another real estate agent asked who her stager was. And I was like, I'll do it. And then that's kind of how our first project started. And we begged, borrowed, and stealed stuff from family members. We rented furniture. We created like our own floral designs. And then after that, we had stuff. And that was actually a really successful first job. And so then more agents started asking, who's your stager? And it just kind of snowballed from there. And here we are 15 years later.
Wow.
So cool.
That's amazing.
It is, because that's such a, I feel like we meet people all the time who love design and they love things like that, but to have the ability to turn that into a successful business is really, it's something, you know, and a 15-year track record, that's incredible.
Yeah, lots of people have ideas to do whatever it is, but very few actually just go and do it.
Right.
So
yeah, it's just kind of this great marriage of being able to do interior design, which was my passion, but not necessarily having all the stress of working with individual clients all the time and, you know, dealing with all the stress of that. So it's been such a great business for me to continue, and I love it.
So we know that it maximizes the value that a seller can get for their home, but I'm curious to hear from you, like, why you think that is. Can you share any numbers? Is there any data that proves that, or stories, at least anecdotal stories that like share all that with us? Yeah.
So, I mean, staging will always be less expensive and a better option than your first price reduction. You know, your first price reduction, you're going to do at least 10 grand. Staging rarely costs even half of that. So to be able to put the money into that and raise that perceived value off the bat, I think is so important. I mean, we have so many success stories.
Yeah.
That's why I think I've kept up with this business for so long, because we've helped so many home sellers, you know. And so, you know, for an example, this last summer, we had a house that sat 86 days on the market during the summer, like prime selling time. It sat on the market for 86 days. They took it off the market. We came in and staged it, and it was under contract in 6 days.
Wow.
Yeah. And then another one, we just cleared out a house in San Luis. The staging cost on that was $3,200. The price that it sold for plus $78,000 over asking price.
Sheesh.
That's an ROI of 2,338%.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
A lot of percentage.
And that happens all the time.
Yeah. So like practically, I understand if a home's vacant, on the one hand, it's like, well, is it better that it's empty and people can imagine their stuff in it, or is it's
people
not?
People don't have an imagination.
But then what about people who are living in the, well, for one, like it's nearly impossible to, even if you can imagine like some stuff like this, understanding scale is really hard in an empty space. But then what if somebody's living in it? What's this sort of dance between, hey, we're going to pull everything out because you're like, you have really bad taste, and put new stuff in, versus just like a little bit here, a little bit there? Yeah,
it is a little bit more difficult when people are living in their house. The main things that we focus on are just depersonalizing it, taking some furniture out so it just opens up spaces, opens up walkways. We'll, you know, move furniture around just to make a space feel like it makes sense a little bit better for people walking through it. So those are the main things that we focus on. You know, it's really hard when people have lived in their house for so long, I think that's just one of the biggest challenges. People get comfortable in their house, you know, they create an attachment to their house. And so it's hard to kind of pull them back, take off their blinders. And, you know, they might be living in a space the way that they've liked it for 10 years. But for staging and selling a house, like, it's different a lot of the times. You have to, you know, create walkways. You have to open up spaces. We might not face a couch, you know, to the TV wall that they've been living with for 15 years because it cuts off the walkway to the kitchen, you know. It's just, we come in with our professional opinion and help it make more sense, look better for photos, and hopefully get it sold faster.
Yeah, it's funny. Even from the agent side, we have they're really delicate conversations to have, because people, they add value to their home that's sentimental, and then a buyer is not going to have that. So they're really challenging. So I can appreciate that. When you walk into a home, what are the first few things you look at in the consultation? I mean, I heard you say walkways, spaces, open, depersonalized. Like, talk a little bit more about like what you see when you walk into a room the first time.
Yeah. So a lot of the times, you know, I'll kind of take first the big picture. So, you know, we're going to take down all the magnets off the fridge. We're going to, you know, take down that whole gallery wall of family photos. I always tell clients, you know, my professional opinion on family photos, which can be hard because they have the attachment to it, but you want buyers to walk in and envision themselves living in there, you know. And when you have family photos or personalized items all over the house, they can't imagine themselves living in there. And they also feel like they're invading somebody else's space. Yeah. And that is not the feeling you want to evoke when you have a buyer walking through your house. So we really have to just kind of depersonalize and, you know, take a step back and see all those things, which is where a professional stager comes in, because we don't have those blinders on and we can see all that right off the bat. And then, you know, we'll suggest paint colors if there's crazy paint colors all over the walls, or just, you know, certain cleaning aspects, but definitely making sure that those walkways are open and that rooms aren't blocked off and stuff like that. Yeah.
Cool.
That's a huge tool for a realtor too, though. Going in, you have to protect your relationship with your client.
Exactly.
And there are certain things that I know I've had people call me just to be like, can you just come in and be the one to tell them this? Because, you know, and you're so tactful and you have a system and you have all your stats behind you. But that's a huge asset for realtors to rely on you for that, so that they can keep hand holding and keep that relationship strong. That's very cool.
For sure.
So you mentioned you're going to Vegas. Talk a little bit about some of the trends that you are seeing or expect to see with home staging design.
Yeah, so home staging it's different from interior design. Trends that we see are definitely using neutral, contemporary furniture. You know, a lot of houses that we work in are dated, so we just really want to neutralize a space, bring in contemporary furniture just to bring it up to date a little bit as far as the furnishing goes. And then we kind of use that as our base, all neutral furniture. And then we'll take, you know, the location of the house or the style of the house, and then we'll bring in layers to, you know, address those. And then, so it's artwork, accessories is where we'll bring in, you know, coastal, because we live in such an amazing place. So we have, you know, coastal areas. San Luis is kind of our California cool, you know, college town. And then we have North County, wine country, farmland. So we don't theme our staging too much, but we definitely bring in the style of the house and the location, and we bring that in with accessories and artwork.
Yeah, that'd be really difficult if you've got a house that's like super dated, has like avocado green refrigerators or whatever. I guess that's not dated. But then how do you obviously can't slap like a bunch of modern stuff. So how do you how do you balance taking a home that's dated and not like going too far with the design?
Yeah, well, our goal isn't to hide all that stuff. We really can't, but our goal is to work with it, to try and make it make sense a little bit, or at least distract from it, so a buyer can come in and see a beautifully styled home, and instead of focusing on that flaw, they see how the house can be lived in and the house can be styled. And so it kind of takes their eye off that flaw and to the rest of the space where they think, oh, that's an easy change. If my house can look like this, that's an easy change. That's not a big deal. Like, we got it.
What about paint? You mentioned paint colors. Like what's in right now? We just painted our whole inside white, so please tell me that was a good decision.
Whites are out.
Oh, dang it!
We're definitely
Classic
coming
me.
in.
Late to the party.
Always,
as always.
that was always my autobiography.
For selling a house, whites and neutrals will always be on trend. I think we are coming into a phase now where we've gone through the all white walls, the all white cabinets, light flooring. And so I think we're definitely, coming out of that a little bit and coming more into the moody colors or just like the really neutral beiges and warm colors. So
What do you mean moody?
Like this
don't.
room. Like this room,
Okay,
I would
like-
call this room moody. It's
Okay,
kind of a darker tone of a color. People are just trying to make spaces feel warmer now.
Got it.
Yeah.
Shoot.
It's all good.
I know what I'm doing this weekend.
Yeah.
Making my house moody.
Add in drapes for layers. Add in, nice warm artwork. You can make it work.
Okay, what do you think about floor color and like a type?
He's using this as his own.
This is a consultation.
This is a consultation. I'm
Yeah.
going to charge you after.
Fair. That's a deal.
Flooring, I think just, again, keeping with warm colors, things that are sustainable, things that can be well worn. Because I'm not an interior designer, I don't deal with hard finishes too much. It's more furniture and artwork and, accessories. But I definitely study design a lot. So I think it's just definitely keeping with those warm tones.
Okay. I'll let it go now. So there's a handful of staging companies on the Central Coast. Like what differentiates you guys?
Well, I think because we've been in business for so long, we've, acquired enough inventory to stage over 40 houses, which means we rarely have to turn clients down.
Yeah.
And of course, in the real estate market, everything is very fast and everybody wants everything done quickly so we can get those houses on the market. So, we can take that on. We can, take on projects pretty quickly. We have multiple agents that ask us to do it by the end of the week. And
Oh, wow.
we can usually make that happen.
We're nightmares.
Yeah, we're awful.
The worst.
If we have room in our schedule, we'll make that happen. And again, with having different style of accessories, we can really, our design's not cookie cutter. We don't have only 10 houses worth of inventory where every house is going to look the same. We really work to the style of the house and the location. And then there's digital marking, which we've never offered. I don't believe in it. I think it's great for getting a client to the home, but they say buyers make their first impression within like the first 8 seconds.
Wow.
And so you see a digital product online and then you walk into the house and I think it evokes that first feeling of letdown.
Where'd everything go? Yeah.
It's immediate
So,
letdown.
Just to be clear, what you're talking about is people take the images of the house and they put furniture in it just for sake of marketing.
Yep. It's all digital, like all AI now. But yeah, when those buyers walk into the house, it's just immediate letdown, which is the exact opposite of staging purposes. We don't want them to feel like, wait, is this the house I actually just saw online? That's not what we want them to feel. So we want them to be able to walk through the house. We want to capture their attention through every room. We want them to fall in love with the house. We want them to be like, oh my God, I love this house. I want this house. I'll do anything to get it.
Yeah.
What are some of the bigger challenges you guys face when staging different homes?
Again, every house is so different. We just, worked with a house with royal purple carpet. And it was brand new carpet.
Oh, really? That was
Yeah.
sounds like a move I'd make.
Yeah. Just a lot of dated features, a lot of flaws that we try and distract from, funky layouts. We really, our goal is to walk in and, distract from those flaws. We want to make just this beautiful space for buyers to walk into, make spaces make sense. Putting furniture into a space can actually make it feel larger. So it's all super important just to get that, captivate that buyer right when they walk in the door.
What's the process like? I know you mentioned that, because agents are awful, that it could be done in a week, but ideally, what's the process from let's train everybody here. Listen up, you agents. Consultation to all the steps.
Yeah. So we service all of the Central Coast. We go all the way to Cambria, up to Paso, all the way down to like Santa Maria and Orchid. So I definitely ask that people call first and I can give them a free quote. So just basically based off of the location and the square footage of the home, I can give a quote on what the staging cost would be. And then at that point, if their clients or if the real estate agents are paying for it, if the quote is approved, then I make an appointment to view the house in person. I'll take my pictures and my notes at that point, and then we will get the install on the schedule whenever it's ready. And I usually require at least a few days heads up for that, just so I can get the design worked out in my head. And then we pack the day before, arrive first thing in the morning, do the install, and then usually it'll be ready for photos in the afternoon.
Wow. So like a half day kind of a thing.
Yes.
How many people come to do the install?
I have 8 people on my team right now. So I have 2 in-house movers. We have a moving truck. We have a transit van, which helps us, haul all of our accessories. So usually on one job, I have at least 4 to 5 people, including my movers. So they get the furniture in the house. I have designated assistants to make the beds. I usually help place all the accessories and hang artwork. So we're a very well-oiled machine because, again, we know how quickly you guys want it done.
And you've been doing it for a long time.
And we want to make that happen for you. So we've got a system down.
Cool.
Are you the one going into every single house? Do you have a designer working with you? Are you?
I have everybody on my team has been with me for a couple years now. And so I'm definitely leveraging their help a little bit more because we have gotten so busy. I can't be at every job, but I'm usually the one that does all the client contact, and then I do see a lot of the houses, or if I do send my assistants to the house to look at it, I'll go over their pictures and their notes just to make sure we're all on the same page. But yeah, we all kind of work together. But I still am very heavily involved in all of the design work. Yeah, it's hard to let go.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it's your stamp. It's your image.
Yeah. Anything else, Bobby?
Okay, the only other thing I was thinking is right now I'm talking to realtors all the time, and something that they're so obsessed with is marketing themselves, being on Instagram and all these things. And I just have to say I see the value so much. We've had these conversations of like, I know this house is going to sell quickly. Do we still stage it and make it the absolute best it can be, or do we throw it on the market? And it's just a great reminder that that's also part of their image. So that's their, it's their piece that they're selling, and they get to put their own brand on it and really make it, elevate it. So there's value, I think, in every direction for what you're doing.
Yeah, I totally agree. Real estate agents, you guys are basically our clients. You're the ones that recommend staging and get us the jobs. And then, we help you guys from there so that we create this beautiful house that you're showing, so that hopefully it sells for more and less days on the market, so that you guys get a higher commission, the homeowners get a higher price, we get it sold faster. It, like you said, selling a home can be one of the most stressful moments in a person's life. So if we can help by getting it done faster, especially if the sale of their next house is contingent upon selling this house, then we want to get it done.
Yeah.
And we want to get it over with for them and make everybody happy. So it's definitely worth it.
It's fun. Well, we love that. That's a Keller Williams win-win. It's a win-win.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win.
Yeah.
Totally is. All right, Jessica, hard part's over.
Okay.
Anything we didn't cover, though, that you wanted to cover?
I think that was kind of it. It's something I truly believe in. That's why I've been in business for so long. Like, it's just such a pleasure to be able to help homeowners in this stressful, part of their life. And it's obviously one of my passions. So it's fun just to go in and be in all these different houses and work with all these different designs. And
That's
cool.
awesome.
I love it. Okay. So now we get to know you a little bit better. So we're going to ask you 4 questions.
okay.
I'll do 1 and 3.
Okay.
You want to do 2 and 4, Bobby?
Sure.
Okay, here we go. Question number 1. What's your favorite book, movie, or TV show?
Okay, so I'm a total sci-fi nerd. I loved all the Harry Potter books.
I was like, I would not have pegged you as a
No, that's okay.
I loved all the Harry Potter books, and now that my kids are old enough, like, I've been rereading them to them, and that's just so fun. And then I would say I don't watch a ton of movies, but one of my favorite TV series was definitely Game of Thrones.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see it.
I see you differently now. I do. I like it.
Now we
I'm
really know
here
you.
for it. I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is the most influential person in your life?
Definitely my mom. Yeah. She owned a business for 25 years downtown, and that's kind of probably where I got my design bug from, but it was retail and home decor, and I grew up there, and she just taught me so much about business. And we actually started this business together because I had no idea how to run a business. I loved decorating, but I didn't know how to run a business. And so she kind of guided me along the way, and she's just has always been there rooting for me. And yeah.
That's great.
So cool.
Okay, question number 3. Describe your ideal day on the Central Coast. Spare no details.
That's easy. Definitely driving up the coast on Highway 1 and ending up in Big Sur. That's
Wow.
all-time favorite.
Is it open yet?
I know. That's the only issue is there's rock
Can you even
slides.
do that?
I think you can get to a certain point. I don't think you can get like all the way to Gorda right now, but that's just been one of my all-time favorite things. We'll, load the kids up. My husband and I go there on our anniversary trips.
Nice.
But just stopping along the way to see the elephant seals. And I took my kids to Hearst Castle for the first time this last Christmas. And then
Where do you eat? That's all I think Bobby and I care about is
I
food.
was literally thinking that.
Yeah.
Like hidden kitchen. Are we getting
Taco Bell?
waffles? Do we have a good Mexican
Yeah.
spot along the way? Like, fill me in.
I know there used to be a restaurant. It was on like literally the side of the cliff, and it burned down.
No way.
We were so sad because we stopped there every
Oh,
time.
bummer.
But there's a good little restaurant in Gorda, and then there's also kind of like that outdoor kitchen at Ragged Point that you could stop at and get burgers. My kids love that.
Gosh, I don't get up there ever.
No,
Do you?
No,
Oh
and
my
if I do, I don't usually like eat along the way. I'm usually in a
Yeah.
mad dash to get there.
It's just, it's right up the road, and it
beautiful.
makes you feel like you're in a whole different world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have so many spots like that.
So
We're so lucky.
Yeah,
There's
we
so
really
much.
are.
There's so many like little day getaways and that
Totally.
you can do.
Totally.
Okay, Big Sur. All right, I'm gonna do some research and I'll let you
Report
know if
back.
I find. I'll let you know if I find any good restaurants along the
Okay.
way. Okay, so final question.
Yeah.
Are we ready?
We're ready.
What is the best way for people to get in touch with you?
If you want to see our most recent work, we're definitely working on our Instagram game. So definitely check us out on Instagram. It's Acacia Creek Home. You can email anytime. It's acaciacreekstaging@yahoo.com. And then, like I said, for real estate agents, call or text me anytime to get a free quote, and I will get you set up on a staging job.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Jessica.
Yeah. So nice to
You did
chat
it.
with you.
Thank you.
You did great.
It was amazing.
First podcast.
Thanks so much for being on. We
First podcast
really
in the books.
appreciate it. It was
Thank
awesome.
you.
Good to have you.
Thanks.